So we have cut all the flowers. I've laid some of them out on the table, some are still in the bucket, and we're gonna get started. What I usually do, we're working in a mason jar right now, which has a very small opening. So we're gonna do more of a hand-tied bouquet sort of style. So we're gonna start with our greenery. We're gonna start and build a bit of a frame. So what we wanna do is start creating a bit of what the shape is gonna be before we start adding more of the flowers in. So because I have some of these really lovely longer stems, I think what we'll do is something that has a bit more of a diagonal feel to it. So I'm crisscrossing my stems and pulling the leaves off anything that's below my fingers. So anything below my fingers is probably gonna be in the water. We don't want it in the water. So I always start with my greenery flowers first. It also is going to help me with my frame. I either put them directly into the water or I'm going to continue to hold them like this. And I'm doing it sort of facing you guys, so you'll see what I'm doing. And you just sort of want to keep crisscrossing your flowers. So there's always sort of a center point, and the stems are coming out that way. I'm going to fill in some of these taller stems up in here. So this is a dahlia. This is going to be one of our focal flowers. So I'm going to position that right in the center. So you can see I'm sort of starting with a bit of a shape. I'm going to pull the bucket up now. And some of what we cut, I think, is a little bit too bright for these more muted tones. So we're going to continue with more of the peachier colors. Got this gorgeous Delphinium. I'm going to filter in right down in here. Oops. Now that I've got my shape, I'm just going to continue to sort of fill in where I feel like it needs a little bit more color and design. And I've got one beautiful rose that I'm going to focal right in behind this dahlia so that as it continues to open, it'll fill that space gorgeous. All right. Sometimes I just fill a couple other stems in the back just so that it sits better in the vase. Some of our greenery stems just help to fill it out. I tend to do my arrangements like this one has a front. The back's not very interesting, but we want it to look exciting from the front. These are a bit too, I think, a bit too pinky, so we're not going to use those. So then at this point, this is where I'm holding it. I'm going to make sure that nothing leaf-wise is below my hands. I'm going to measure where I want it to sit, and all those other stems are going to need to be cut off. So I sort of put the vase down. Where my hand is should be the center, and everything below that needs to be cut. I'm going to continue to cut all of these stems so that it sits comfortably. I'm not going to hand tie this. I don't think it needs to be hand tied, but you certainly can. I'm going to put it in the vase. And I'm not going to let go until I make sure I've cut it short enough. No, I want it to be a little shorter so that it really sits in there. And then once it's in the vase, you can just move things around a little bit. If you find it's not sitting well, that's when I'll sometimes put some other flowers in the back just to give it a little bit more strength to stay in balance. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I hope you learned some easy tips and tricks. Don't be afraid to cut your flowers from your garden. A lot of flowers like the cosmos and the zinnias, they're cut and come back flowers. The more you cut, the more they're gonna produce. So bring them inside, make an arrangement and enjoy them.